watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Haley Mila. 9 o'clock the time. We'll get to your stories in just a minute. But first, we're going to get to meteorologist Jackie Lair with a check on the forecast. Hey, Jackie, it's a rainy Wednesday.
Yeah, it certainly is, along with some of that fog, too, limiting that visibility. And we're going to continue to see that wet weather sticking around into the early afternoon. Some of that rainfall still could be heavy at times right around midday. But then eventually that rain, or at least the heaviest of the rainfall, slides off towards the north and east. We're talking about scattered lighter rain showers into the afternoon and evening hours before eventually that also slides out off towards the north and east. We should see drier conditions later on tonight, although mainly cloudy skies overnight and also some patchy fog. But today it's going to feel a bit more like early April with high temperatures varying into those upper 50s to low to mid 60s. And at least tomorrow we'll see a bit more of those seasonable high temperatures with those highs right around 80. And it looks like tomorrow will be one of the drier days out of this work week. I mean, we did see a drier day out there Memorial Day, but it looks like tomorrow will actually be drier and at least seasonable before more wet weather's on the way for Friday. The latest details on that coming up.
Oh boy. Thank you, Jackie. All right, developing now out of Prince George's County, Maryland, police investigating a double fatal shooting in Fort Washington. It happened last night on Harris Place. Police say two men were found at the scene. One of them died there. The other rushed to a hospital where he died. Police now looking for the shooter. Anyone with information should contact authorities. And in the district, a woman shot dead after being shot and killed by her neighbor. This is happening near Pitts Place in Southeast DC. Police Chief Pamela Smith saying the woman and her neighbor had an ongoing dispute, but before the shooting, two people chased the woman down the street where the man shot and killed her. Police have two men in custody. They're still looking for a third person as well as the gun used in the shooting. And as more shootings occur, those who live in D.C. are growing frustrated and worried. Many looking for answers as the city sees 15 shootings in as many days. That includes two triple shootings in Southeast, a stray bullet that killed a man sitting inside of his own home in Northwest Washington, and a 14-year-old girl who accidentally shot herself while filming a video. Chief Smith says most of these shootings aren't random.
We are seeing too many, and I'll emphasize too many interpersonal conflicts where the results are the production of firearms to resolve these conflicts.
A local community advocate says he thinks the district lacks strategy to tackle gun violence, even though it has the financial means to do so. He believes the city is resource rich and coordination poor. And across the DMV, multiple initiatives are taking place to curb crime. Community leaders are meeting with people to look for solutions in the district. The Advisory Neighborhood Commission is hosting a virtual meeting. They plan on addressing concerns from families in Ward 8. That'll be tomorrow night at 6:30. And today in Maryland, Prince George's County is hosting its own meeting on summer crime beginning at 11:30. It'll be held at the police headquarters in Upper Marlboro. A large bipartisan showing of support at the funeral for the late Congressman Gerry Connolly, who was called the epitome of a public servant. Several lawmakers speaking at the services in Ruston, including Senator Tim Kaine. Connolly remembered for expanding Metro rail access, investing in local education, and creating affordable housing. Governor Glenn Youngkin ordering all flags lowered at half-staff to honor the late Connolly yesterday. He died last week after a long battle with cancer at the age of 75. Still no progress in bringing home a Maryland father wrongfully deported by the Trump administration. Congressman Glenn Ivey traveled to El Salvador and was denied a meeting with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's been in prison there since March. That despite a Supreme Court order ordering the Trump administration to facilitate his return. Our Daniel Hamburg has the latest on the case to bring him home.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia is believed to still be in a prison in Santa Ana, El Salvador.
His lawyers, his family has not been able to get a hold of him. Last information we've had was from Senator Van Hollen.
That was more than a month ago when Van Hollen met with Abrego Garcia. Representative Glenn Ivey tried to do the same over the weekend.
I was deeply disappointed and frankly angry that we were not allowed to get in to see him.
Ivey says he met with the ambassador from El Salvador to the U.S. last week and other government officials, telling them he wanted to see Abrego Garcia. When they got to the prison,
they told us at the gate that we had to go back to San Salvador to get a permit, which is ridiculous. This is an international visit. I'm a member of Congress.
Abel Nunez with the Central American Resource Center in D.C. accompanied Ivey, helping to set up meetings, one with more than 50 Salvadoran women whose sons, husbands, and brothers are in jail.
These are people that have not been charged with a crime. There's no evidence that they were members of a gang, but yet the government has used the suspension of civil liberties to kind of forgo habeas corpus.
That's something the Trump administration is looking at doing, and why Nunez says the trip was important.
It shines a light, and impunity and oppression do not work well in the light. Because when people understand what truly is happening, then people will take action.
After weeks of delays, the council in D.C. finally reviewing the 2026 budget proposal from D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser. She unveiled the details at a meeting yesterday. The price tag, just under $22 billion. The delay coming from Congress, reducing the district's 2025 budget by $1 billion. Mayor Bowser proposing spending cuts, slashing government grants, putting a hiring freeze on federal positions, and more.
We have looked at these cuts in a way that have, we think, the least impact. We know how to deal with all of these competing pressures, and we've done it calmly.
The budget also includes money for teacher raises, parking at RFK Stadium, and hiring police. No layoffs, furloughs, or facility closures are in the budget. Meantime, not everyone is thrilled with the budget proposal. Many gathering at a rally outside of the MLK Library in Northwest yesterday. Across the district, many people taking issue with eliminating the tipped minimum wage, changing eligibility for Medicaid, and not increasing taxes on the wealthy.
Every choice in this budget is a choice to prioritize the pockets of developers over the people who need services the most. It's a choice to keep money in the pockets of DC's wealthiest residents while cutting basic support staff in our schools.
Council is expected to hold a hearing on the budget tomorrow, and the first council vote on the proposal is set for mid-July. Happening today, D.C. Council holding a hearing on the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP. If this amendment they're weighing passes, it would make it easier for landlords to evict tenants who are behind on their rent. The council is also holding a hearing on revoking TOPA for certain buildings. This act gives tenants the right to negotiate with the new owner of their buildings if it's sold. Advocates for both of these amendments say it'll help make housing better for the district. Beginning today, WMATA is launching contactless payment for Metro rail fares. Tap to Pay and Go will allow riders to pay directly at the fare gate using a credit card or debit card. Metro officials holding a ceremony first tap at the Dulles Metro station this morning. And a major step forward in Maryland to create a multifunctional transportation hub in Montgomery County. Metro says Hines will be the developer for the North Bethesda Metro station. The new project set to create another entrance so riders could have easier access to the facility. WMATA and the developers say the goal is to give people a better experience by increasing safety, access to Metro, building more affordable homes in the area, and increasing rail ridership.
Want to be a state where people can actually get to where opportunity lies and people are not trapped. We want to be a state that people also don't necessarily need to rely on cars in order to get where those opportunities might exist.
Now, the aim is to have the project wrapped up for you riders by 2029. If you're heading to rock on with Metallica at Northwest Stadium today, Metro says it's got you covered. The trains will get you home even if the concert runs past normal service hours. WMATA says you'll have to enter the Morgan Boulevard or downtown Largo stations, and the other stations will be exit only. The M72 World Tour is set to showcase Metallica's signature 360-degree stage setup. Jackie, I do know people going to this, and I'm pretty jealous, but what's their weather situation going to be?
Yeah, I mean, later this evening, we still could see some rain showers. So those will begin to wrap up. They will be lighter than what we're dealing with out there from earlier this morning, even into the early afternoon. So in terms of the temperatures, though, those will still be hovering to those upper 50s to lower 60s. So still a bit cool. It'll likely be a bit damp out there with all the rainfall we've had over the course of the day today. But I think thankfully we'll see those drier conditions later on tonight. By 5 p.m., still a few rain showers right around Landover and also right around D.C. before eventually those slide out. And we're tracking those drier conditions overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning under those mainly cloudy skies, though. Those clouds give way to a little bit more of that sunshine breaking out tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, looking mainly dry across the area and much more seasonable with high temperatures right around 80 degrees. Today, it's looking like April out there. It's going to feel like April, too, with high temperatures only climbing back into those lower 60s for much of the area today. Tomorrow, much more seasonable for this time of the year. A late day or a late evening shower or storm possible. But like I mentioned, otherwise, we're looking at mainly dry conditions out there for the day tomorrow. So yes, cool, cloudy with that rain likely wrapping up or at least becoming a bit more scattered to light rain showers out there later on this afternoon into the evening. Now, Friday, next batch of rain slowly starts to push in. That's our next system down towards our south and west. Could see a few showers to start Friday morning. Then we see a break before another batch of rain and thunderstorm activity slides across the area for your Friday afternoon and evening, likely adding up to those rainfall totals. And then Saturday, as that low pressure slides its way off towards our north and east, cold front continues to clear the area. We'll still be dealing with some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity out there Saturday. Sunday, though, looking all clear, looking like more sunshine breaking out, and those high temperatures on Sunday will be right into those upper 70s as well. Excessive rainfall, though, for Friday, it's marginal, so that's 1 out of 4 on that scale. And we're going to continue to monitor this as we look ahead towards the end of the week. How much rainfall are we talking, though? Now, this rainfall is all the way through early Friday morning. We're talking about at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches with this system that we're dealing with out there right now. But then as we look ahead towards Saturday, we're going to continue to see those rainfall totals adding up. We're talking about at least 1.5 inches farther off towards the north and west, closing in on 2 to 2.5 inches for along and east of the I-95 corridor. So we're going to continue to monitor this all the way through Saturday. Sunday, though, at least that will be the pick of the weekend with high temperatures back into those mid to upper 70s and sunshine. Looking ahead towards the start of that next work week, the first full week of June, we're finally back into those 80s both Monday and Tuesday.
All right, something to look forward to. Thank you, Jackie. Well, we are stretching your dollar by making sure you're not duped by some savvy schemes. They're born out of the confusion over tariffs and changes, and some criminals are targeting online shoppers. What's happening is bad actors could send you a message saying you have a package ready for delivery, but you can't get it until after you pay your tariff. Well, we're making sure you don't pay those big bucks.
If you're paying more for goods, you sure don't want to be spending more money than you already have to. That's why you should be on the lookout for schemes that could dupe you into paying more. The company Before AI analyzed website domain registrations that could potentially be used in these schemes. It found 300 domain names registered that could be deployed to take your money. The tricksters make websites that look like they belong to a legit mail carrier. They could also call or send you text messages. The hook? You have a package on the way, but it won't be delivered until you pay the tariff fee. Steve Weissman, a Bentley University professor, says that someone might even hack your computer and then come to your house the day after you receive a package asking for your tariff payment. The Better Business Bureau has advice for you. Never send money to someone you've never met in person. Avoid links or attachments in unsolicited emails. Don't send personally identifiable information, and double check transactions are secure.
Now, if you think you're the victim of a scheme like this, you can help others out by flagging it to the Better Business Bureau. Just keyword search Stretch Your Dollar over on DCNewsNow.com. And happening now, the Scripps National Spelling Bee. It's not just a normal year for the competition, though. The Bee celebrating its 100th anniversary. More than 240 contestants from across the country were invited to the Gaylord Convention Center on the National Harbor. It began yesterday. It ends tomorrow night. 60 spellers have already been eliminated. There are 180 remaining. Just know there may not be only one winner. Back in 2019, the Bee ended with an 8-way tie. So best of luck to all the spellers out there. That's all the time we've got this morning on DC News Now. Stick around for more news and weather coming up on DC News at noon.